we're good to go. What are we testing today? Let me just move myself a little bit here, close to the window. Yeah. All right. So today we're testing the Wandering app, and we'll do a similar thing, similar session, probably like around 25 minutes, 30 minutes. I already did started testing these yesterday when I was kind of going through the notebook LM stuff. And I started with the probabilistic thing, and I'll just go straight to the quiz. See if I can I just skip all these? I was saying, like, the thing is, so this first lesson was a bit underwhelming. It was a bit underwhelming because the app promises to have this concept of like text to like assets that kind of do a bit of a 360 in terms of the medium, and it was a bit underwhelming because to me, like, things like these most like these kind of widgets don't really feel like, this doesn't really feel like it's useful. As in, like, it's almost kind of like cumbersome to use. And I'm here, and I guess I can just start practice now. In a specific, but always just in separate output and deterministic. And also these quizzes are like, okay, while systems rely on rigid rules, while deterministic rules, probabilistic system, nice data check, call. What is discuss? Discuss. All right. Okay. So this is kind of like a conversation you can have, but it almost feels like, and this will be my first take, right? So the conversations with an AI tutor or assistant, like, if you don't put them in the way, like if you're not creating that friction intentionally, they kind of almost feel like there's no incentive for me to click that, or I don't really kind of feel like clicking these if I'm just going through that. Whereas probabilistic logic preferred to traditional logic in robotics and machine learning. So complexity of the system, it guarantees a single sensor and actually handles incomplete or noise information effectively. I think it's this one, right? Yeah. Arrange the steps for a probabilistic decision-making process in an algorithm. Arrange the steps for implementing a probabilistic decision-making process in an algorithm. Execute a most informed decision, identify sources of uncertainty in the environment, represent uncertainty via probability distributions, calculate likelihoods. So I don't know. I don't know what is. So I don't know what is worse. A purely sort of like constrained dynamical widget, or quizzes like these where, like, and it's such a great missed opportunity because here, like, you can have a lot of what if kind of discussions. Okay, so you could like think of, okay, so do I need to identify all the sources before I can represent uncertainty via probability distributions? Maybe that is something that, I could think of doing as the first thing, and maybe we can kind of design a system that, it's like there is a bit of nuance in terms of what the order is of these things, and the fact that, can I change that now? No. The fact that I only get to discuss these after the fact is maybe a little bit of a bummer, but it's okay. I guess you can flag these. I can bookmark. I'm just gonna save this, see where it goes. I don't know. Continue. Great job. Keep going. Intense mode enabled. The subsequent lessons in this course will also have more questions. You can always change these in the course settings. Okay, that's interesting. Probabilistic logic represents information using random variables. What does it mean for an algorithm to treat uncertainty as a first-class citizen? Structure. This one. Okay. And I haven't looked at the lesson, right? But that's okay. Who cares about streaks, man? It's like I really don't like if you're seriously learning, like nobody cares the fuck about these streaks. I would say cars collected. Okay, interesting. Tap to view. What are these? Here's logic, heuristic reasoning, uncertainty integration. So those are cards collected that do what? Dive deeper, continue. Okay, it's interesting. Dive deeper. Okay, so you can focus on this concept on a concept of the lesson, or see how this applies to a real world example. Let's see that. Real world example. Oh, so you actually then kind of create another lesson. Okay, no, let's not go down this way now. Back. I mean, but it's okay. It's interesting that it lets you sort of branch. It lets you branch at the sort of at the lesson level, not just at the entire plan level, which is interesting. I mean, that's a nice feature. And now what? Oh, is this? Sorry, I just clicked back accidentally. Fuck, what? I did that. Queen. Check my understanding. Okay, so I did that. Magic Insights. Sampling methods. Can you solve a complex equation by just throwing virtual darts? Next. Sampling methods, Monte Carlo, high-dimensional spaces, enables robust algorithms, approximates intractable problems. See, I'm not too... It all feels like it's the same. So it's going to be this guy. It's going to be something like these. Okay, yeah. It's all some sort of visuals. Again, and the visuals will get better, I get it, it's fine. But it's also, actually, there's no... Like these, for example... Like, I don't find these actually useful. And they all seem to have the same structure. And these, man, these are just... I don't like these. It's like a stepper, but it doesn't really feel like... Okay, and what is check my understanding? Okay, so it generates a question. Let's test your understanding of this concept. Mathematical problem is described as intractable. Why would a researcher choose to use random sampling rather than traditional formula to solve it? If you ask questions you have about this lesson. Okay, so you can actually... I mean, that is... So check my understanding. This is an interesting mode. I mean, this is something where it's like you sort of take a bit of a moment to... What if you say, I don't know? Does it give me the answer, or does it just give me more questions? I think that's good. I think that's good. That's a good one. I think we see, so no problem at all. Strict concept. Think of an intractable problem as something so complex and massive that a standard computer wouldn't take years to calculate the exact answer. Instead of solving the problem, the whole thing perfectly is used on sampling. I mean, okay, no, it kind of gave you the answer here, right? To make it simpler, if you wanted to know the average height of a person on Earth, would it be easy to measure all 8 billion people, or just measure a few thousand chosen at random? Okay, so you can actually sort of explore a bit these. I mean, I like this. This is interesting, yeah. I think that's an interesting feature. Why is the random sample accurate? Tell me more about Monte Carlo integration. Can you give me another example? Law of large numbers, blah, blah. Okay, you don't need to eat the integral. Okay. I guess it's good. It's check my understanding. Okay, and it kind of goes back to it's just a conversation, right? It's a conversation that is more like helping you guide through what you don't understand, and like It's maybe a bit oddly named. I wouldn't call it check my understanding, because that sounds like it's gonna just give me a quiz and whatnot, right? All right. Next. And that starts a new, okay, it's a new blank conversation with a yeah, okay, sampling. It's funny because what I like most from these are the features that are not related to this sort of visuals, I guess, here. Can explain these. Okay. Next. Random sampling, ratio of darts, estimated area. Powerful technique for estimating unknown quantities through random sampling. Imagine you need to solve a complex integral. Instead of solving it with calculus, you throw virtual darts at the problem. By analyzing where the transforms line, you can approximate the solution. This turns hard math problems into a manageable computation. Handling high dimensionality, many they have nothing intractable, traditional logic, deterministic, sampling, probabilistic results, scales to complex spaces, handles noisy data, blah 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 blah. Engineering for uncertainty, problematic algorithm, probabilistic algorithm engineering focuses on designing systems that do not fail when faced with randomness. Mastering Monte Carlo methods is your first step, which allows you to move beyond deterministic logic and now employing algorithms that provide reliable approximations of problems that track simple direct solution. Problem complexity, logic fails, maintains reliability. Define the range of several load from 0% and latency from generate samples, distributions, run a simulation for criteria for success, aggregate results. You need to estimate the risk of a system failure where the variables are too complex for a direct formula. Define the range of a server load from 0 to 100, latency, okay. Yeah. Okay, so now I have magic insights. What is magic insights? Based on what you explored and asked about, save the ones that you want to keep in your notes. Sampling purpose, coding analogy. Okay, so I mean this is interesting. So these are insights taken from, these are things taken from the questions you asked. These are things from the, so these are insights from the, based off of the questions you asked, the stuff that you did in terms of checking my understanding conversations, I guess, and then just from the lecture itself. I do like these. The magic insights are actually, I almost feel like these are the things you will kind of remember. I mean, this is nice. And the knowledge cards, I think though I think this has one problem. There's just a lot of everything. There's cards, there's this, there's that, there's the lesson. And it might feel maybe a bit overwhelming. Okay, start practice. And now what? Is this random sampling? The practice is, I think, a little too easy because in algorithm engineering, sometimes it's person solutions while analytical methods, right? Yeah, cool. Fair dimensional state space. This is what voice need to run. No, the person is voice. Yeah, sure. This feels very predictable, which is kind of like, but again, I'm not, and I know this is maybe a bit controversial, but I'm not too fond of like quizzes and things like these to test your knowledge, because you're not really, you're not testing the neural paths. You're not testing knowledge. You're testing recall, kind of, right? Which sometimes you have the knowledge, you just don't have the right recall structures in your head. You don't have an easy way to kind of like, fill up something like this where you could just be discussing a few things. Is what matters when you're learning something, right? Is that your neurological like structures are formed, and that basic structure is in the space of like brain configurations that matter for that knowledge domain. And then recall and stuff like that, it's more of a very specific problem where you just have different tricks and things that you can do to fix these. But it's not really like, these quizzes kind of bother me a bit because they feel a bit like it's too much. It's my taste. I'm very specific about these. It's too much bound to the way the lesson was structured, right? Because remember, there is this like question that is a stepper, and that's exactly what you're doing here. So you're kind of like, and I guess I don't know if this is something that then it's used to kind of try to measure some sort of like correlations between the stepper visual and how well the users are getting these kind of questions. But I don't know if that's the thing that matters. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, okay, so Renzo tests are basic Monte Carlo simulation in the correct order. Perform a computation, generate random inputs, define the domain of possible inputs. So first you define the domain of possible inputs, then you perform, then you generate random inputs, perform a deterministic computation, aggregate the results. Yeah, I mean, it's just like statistical terms. A sample is a subset of individuals. No, a population. Yeah, exactly. Sample. Calculating your score. Like those things just mean nothing to me. I just don't like, I don't really understand what the XP really means, and what does this give me beyond like just it feels like stupid gamification. This is much more important, right? Because this is, so the time spent is very important because it's what gives you a sense of return on investment. And when you're like, when I'm like, oh fuck, I've been like 10 minutes on it. I have actually been 10 minutes on this lesson. Okay, like, did I learn well? Like, that gives you real feedback, right? It's like, okay, did I learn well? Did I learn something useful? It was 10 minutes. It's actually quite some time. Like, do I feel like I've like interiorized something, learned something? Rather than these here, claim cards, whatever, continue. Okay. Okay, personalized learning. Learning works best when you connect directly to what you want to achieve in life. Your learning goal and background lesson adapt to you. And you can, check it out. Okay, so personalization, background, custom instructions, intense mode. It's okay. Save, cancel, whatever. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, so you can do, so there's a learning map. This is an interesting thing. So it's basically a learning map of what you've been learning that you can kind of come back to. So probabilistic engineering, model design, core foundation, system engineering, inference mechanics, generative processes. Like, okay. I mean, that's interesting, yeah. Hide future lessons. Oh, okay, so it actually includes future lessons. You can hide them so you know what you've only been touching. I mean, that is an interesting thing, definitely. It's an interesting tool. And then quick exercise, just get into a quick exercise. That's all good. What? Okay. Let's start 1 minute exercise. It's the same. Okay, it's the same thing. That's fine. I don't want that. And then there's foundations and section review. Okay. It almost kind of, it almost makes me feel so I have mixed feelings. It almost makes me feel that I've already kind of captured the essence of the app just with a couple lessons, right? And it's kind of like generative models, inference engines, algorithm design, section review. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I guess this is maybe it's a compromise, right? It's better than Brilliant.org, and it's worse than NotebookLM. That's what I would say. So so far, like S tier meme, No, table. No, what is tiering table? There is this tier table. Yeah, this tier list. Yeah, tier list. Tier list. Okay, there's an actual app you can you can use for these. Tier list. Make a template. Learning apps. Create single use template. Okay. Oh, and I can actually have I'll prepare that. Okay, I can actually have single tier use list and tier marker spaces and create usable templates. What is this? Do I really need these? So I actually have to use the square images. Okay, so I will do. You know what? I'll just copy that and use this Scali draw. I'll use this Scali draw. So I think so far, my verdict so far is that wandering up images. Okay. So the wandering up right now. So I essentially think that it's as easy as and that's the best, right? It's the color coding is stupid. But I think I would so far do something like this. Brilliant.org is fucking shit, man. Duolingo is fucking shit. So these two guys are definitely here. Am I using this right? And then Notebook LM. Notebook LM is definitely so far leading. Here. So Notebook LM is definitely here. I don't know. It could also just be that. It could also just be that you know that's kind of like these maybe. I think Notebook LM is something I would actually use quite happily. Maybe I'll just put it like that. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, no, bro, this is actually very bad. It used to be. I don't know. And this is kind of in between because I think that's okay. It's here because I like the. I think that there's nice things. So the Magic Insights are nice. The Magic Insights are very nice, and this other what's it called? The Magic Insights are nice, and the Check My Understanding is also nice. The structure of this stuff is too much Duolingo, and the visuals are like meh. Like the thing with the stepper, I really don't like that. Duolingo, I don't know. I think they've improved a lot. To be honest, we could. I mean, it's been a long time. Duolingo. Maybe I want to learn. Maybe we'll not use a language. Maybe we'll use. I know you can actually learn math or something like this, right? Chess. Well, math. Let's learn math. Let's learn math. I knew about these, whatever, friends and family. Just for fun. No, don't notifications be recommended. Okay. Oh, so what is that? What? Toolkit. Oh, yeah. What? Okay, interesting. Oh, really? Okay. 21, 20. 20 times 2, 40. 20 times 3, 60. Okay, multiple answer. Oh, I remember this. Okay, 10, 15. Okay, that's weird. What are we doing here? Why are we, what are we doing here? Select an answer. What are we doing here? What are we doing here, guys? What the fuck is this? What? Oh. What? What is this? Oh, what is this shit? Type the answer. Oh, now you have to type it actually. Get as close as you can. Oh fuck. 4 no. 2 also no. Complete the equation. 50 is equal. What? 50 is equal 25 times 2. Okay. Type the answer. That's weird. This is very weird. Jesus Christ. What? Good. What? What is that? Oh my god. What the actual fuck is this shit, man? Build number sense. Up next. It's like... I don't know what is that. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, match pairs. What are we doing? What is that? Nearest 10. Nearest 10. What is that? What? What? Nearest 10? I don't. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's like this is 10 or 100, and then yeah. Okay. Okay. That's fucking shit, man. I think those two are lost. And to be honest, Wandering Up would actually be these, if not because of these extra features with the Check My Understanding was a nice kind of conversation style. And the Magic Insights is a nice feature. I just don't think they're well placed. I don't think they're well sort of like put in the product. They're not well like designed. And this is definitely like much more like what I would see as like an actual study environment or study tool, which is really what you need, I think. So you don't need that much guidance. Cool. Okay. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? X.com. I do think, yeah, I think that makes sense. Suggest more tools if you want. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow.